That's terrible. I mean, I'm sorry. Well, I have an 18-year-old daughter. Her name is Billy. And this morning she had a terrible accident. I got the call like an hour before you showed up.
What the hell does that have to do with getting strangled?
Look, I don't expect you to understand this, okay? But it was the only way I could help my daughter.
Okay, record go. Fire, go.
Hello and welcome. Welcome and hello. This is Wait, You Haven't Seen? It's a show where we talk about movies, and specifically, we talk about a movie at least one of us has never seen before. I'm your host, Travis, a.k.a. TV's Travis. This is episode number 383, and we are in week 2 of Cage-A-Palooza 2026. This week, we are watching a movie from 2018 called Between Worlds, but I can't do this alone. I need somebody also to suffer through this with me. I had to bring in 2 reinforcements from everything I learned from movies. It's Steve and Izzy. How are you?
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Doing great. Just got to rewatch this 2018 classic from Nic Cage.
Yeah. And you guys can refer to us the way most podcasters do, as Stizzy.
Yeah.
Stizzy. That works. So 2018 Between Worlds. So this was one that you suggested. Now, I know you, like me, celebrate Nic Cage once a year on your show. Somehow we managed to both pick at random the month of August in which to do that, which I think is amazing. That was not planned, and it was such a fun thing to learn.
Sorry, ours is Nick August Cage, which we thought just sounded funny.
It
So
was the punniest, as they say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's perfect. So when you were looking through movies and you came to me and said, hey, we should do Between Worlds, because I was like, I want to get you guys back on, and I've been on your show for Nick August Cage. In fact, I believe I will be again this year, right? That should be coming out soon. So you brought me this. What is the history you had with Between Worlds? How did you find this one, or was it literally just looking at the list and saying, that looks new?
We had watched it and talked about it for Nick August Cage, I think it was 7 years ago. And I think it was back when it was about a year old. I think it just kind of popped up on Tubi or something. It was like, let's do this one. And this
was brought to us by the algorithm.
Okay.
And I'll throw this out there. Everyone talks about the 2010s Nicolas Cage movies, and they're like, oh, he was just cranking out 10 of them a year, and whoever would pay him, and blah blah blah. Occasionally, you stumble upon a nugget of gold, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Not the
even a broken clock's right twice a year.
Yeah, and we know you are like a Nicolas Cage expert, so we had to think, man, what's one he probably hasn't seen, and this was one of them. So we're like, oh no, you need to watch this.
Yeah, so this was one. The thing with Nic Cage, and I've talked about this before, where this is now my 8th annual Cage-A-Palooza, right? I've been doing this since 2019, and this is the 8th time that I've done this, and I am not even halfway through his filmography yet. Like, there is so much to go. So finding stuff I haven't seen is actually not that difficult, which is saying something. But Nicolas Cage giveth and Nicolas Cage taketh away. And he is very prolific, which is a double-edged sword, because he puts out a lot of content. He puts out a lot of films, but some of them are of questionable quality. However, people get paid. I'm fine with that. So I had no idea what this movie was. I went in 100% blind and started watching it this morning. One thing I did notice right off the bat was only 2 production company logos. For a direct-to-streaming movie, I would say that was a promising sign to only see 2, because if I remember correctly, the movie that we watched for your show had about 9.
Yeah, 8 or 9. Yeah, it was a lot, and that was, but of course, towards the end when that Saturn Films pops up, it's like, oh yeah, that's right, that's why we're watching this movie.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So 2 production logos, and then we get these first couple of shots. We're interesting. Again, I had no clue what was happening at all. I'm just seeing bodies floating, what looks like under ice. There was one of them that was pretty poorly composited, and I was like, I can see the matte lines from the green screen on that one, but a few of them looked okay. And then I saw Nicolas Cage and Franke Potente, who I love her.
Oh, of course.
I've been
Run Lola Run, baby.
Yep, you got Run Lola Run, Born Identity, and a little bit in Born Supremacy. I have a distinct memory of sitting in a theater watching Born Supremacy with a friend of mine who was a massive Jason Bourne fan from the novels. And the scene in that, this is not a big spoiler because it happens so early in the movie, but the scene in that movie where her character Marie gets killed, he was just a seething ball of anger for the rest of the movie because that didn't happen in the book. And he hated that from then on. So that's one thing that I always remember from her. But I like her quite a bit, and I like Nicolas Cage. And so I had some hope here. I did see something early on, though, that gave me pause.
Oh.
If I see in a low-budget direct-to-video movie written, produced, and directed by
Maria Bolera.
that's often not giving me a lot of confidence. Look, I understand, and I talk about this a lot. Making movies is a very difficult thing to do, and there's a lot of work that goes into it. And just the fact that a movie gets made is a miracle on itself. But if I see that on a low budget, that's kind of a red flag for, oh boy, this could be a fascinating diamond in the rough, or I'm going to struggle to get through this. And
we like to refer to them as passion projects.
yes, very much so. And I looked up the director. You mentioned the name. What was that? Maria
Bolera.
Yes. Yeah. This was the second of two films that person has produced so far. The other one being a movie from 2016 called Falsely Accused, which also has a pretty low rating on IMDb. Slightly lower than this movie, in fact. So those were like the only credits I found for Maria Bolera. So already I'm like, okay, what's going on? Now, when you first watched this, at what point did you kind of figure out what was happening or what was going on? How long did it take?
About the time Nicolas Cage's character did.
I'm still not sure I've completely conceptualized exactly what happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were talking about the credits. One other thing I wanted to point out. Did you see who the music was by?
I
Was the
did.
music by Steve?
Was it Angelo Badalamenti, the guy that did the Twin Peaks theme?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know that name. Why is this in this movie other than Nic Cage? And
I saw that. So I saw the name, and it didn't immediately click that it was the Twin Peaks music. But I was like, I recognize that name. Why do I recognize the name? And he did a lot of Lynch stuff and a lot of films. And he's credited with the theme. But there was music throughout this. I have a couple of notes. I'm like, this is some Twin Peaks ass music going on here. More than once. So I kind of, and then afterwards I'm like, that's why the name sounded so familiar. And now it makes sense why they were using that music. Even if he didn't write that, I feel like there was some influence there. There was a lot of wanting to be like Twin Peaks in this, I found.
Yeah. But it's the Twin Peaks, but also with Nicolas Cage instead of Kyle MacLachlan. So it's more like the Nic Cage too, like cranked up to 12. His name is Joe, like it is in like 8 other movies. He's a trucker. I think we peek a little bit into how Nicolas Cage, does his business with the ladies a little bit in this one.
A little there, yeah. Which we're gonna kind of talk about. But the interesting thing to me was, so this is 2018, and I got the feel that this is the same year that he had Mandy come out.
Yeah.
Which is great. I love Mandy. It's weird as all hell, but it's a lot of fun. It's also the same year that he did voice work for, I guess he probably did the voice work for Into the Spider-Verse before 2018. given how long animated films can take to make. But like, this is sort of in an era. This is at mid to late 2010s. He's cranking out several movies, but it's a character that I've seen him play already. In fact, it's very similar to. Did you ever see Joe?
Yeah, we watched Joe with you last year.
That's right. That's what it was. Okay.
We hadn't seen. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I got a lot of Joe feel from the character he was trying to be, but like somebody remembering, oh, I played this character Joe, and doing, not just because his name was Joe, but I feel like he was trying to like remember what that character was like, in some ways. So it was weird. I didn't hate his performance. It's just like all over the place in the movie.
It really is. Yeah. So I guess we should probably talk about the premise of the movie before we start going into
well, and that was what got me a little bit with this movie. Was I was trying to figure out, okay, what movie are we trying to make here? And I'm still not entirely sure what movie they were trying to make here.
It's weird because it's like it's almost like an Insidious movie. Like it's like a demonic possession, but it's not a demon. It's just possessed by another soul. So Franke Potente is this woman who, I guess since she was a kid, whenever she's like near death, like being like choked out or whatever, she can go
whenever
into.
She feels like she's drowning after she almost drowned as a kid.
Yeah,
right.
She goes into like this nether realm and she can, I don't know, see spirits.
Okay, so
and occasionally a Haitian nurse working at the hospital.
Yeah. So the opening shots in the movie are two young people under ice, and then we learn through exposition, oh, that was her and her friend when they were children. Like out playing on the ice, and the ice broke and they nearly drowned, and that was the first time this happened to her. But then that's just never referenced again.
Yeah.
And
and then Nic Cage has a bunch of sorrows in his life, and apparently he has some angry spirits attached to him. And so when their powers combine, we get possession.
Yeah, because we meet Cage in like a truck stop. He's sitting in his truck talking to his boss. He's apparently the world's worst long haul trucker.
Yeah.
And he goes inside, buys food, pays for it, and then wanders around the truck stop looking at more stuff. I was very confused by that. We also had a really...
I think he was looking for the microwave to like nuke his burrito or something.
And then just decided to eat it frozen.
The guy who owned it, after he bought that, said, if you look around, you might find some dessert to go with that. That was what the guy said after he paid.
I thought he was like hitting the Twinkie, the Hostess box or whatever, like, hey, off our dessert tray.
Also, we got a real compelling shot of that dude's butt crack.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Oh, I was picturing the casting call for that guy.
Right?
Top
Just
cinematography.
Line him up. Somebody's dropping pencils and stuff. Like, yep, that's the one.
Right? Okay, we're going to put these jeans on you with some suspenders. Everybody just sit in this chair, lean forward, and just a panning shot of all. It was, there were a lot of choices made for some shots in this movie that I question what we were doing. But yeah, he wanders around, and then he hears, and we saw a flash of somebody in a bathroom stall getting choked, like strangled, feet off the floor. And then he hears the struggle and does the, hey, I'm going to be the big rescue guy, busts into the bathroom, just beats that dude. And the response is like, you've messed it up. And she gets upset with him and goes to leave, which is, he understandably has a reaction of like, I'm sorry, what? Like,
yeah, that's not the first time at a truck stop he's found somebody into choking. All right, that's all I thought at the beginning. But then it's like, but then she comes out and he's like, look, I was just trying to help. The cops are on the way, so we should probably like not be here.
I love that because
he keeps taking shots off of his flask.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. He keeps taking shots off of his flask, and he's saying all this. They have a conversation. She's putting stuff into a big rig, but then for whatever reason, they're in his truck.
because she still feels woozy after
Oh, right,
getting
that-
choked out.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
yeah,
what it was.
yeah.
That
She
does
doesn't
make
feel
sense.
like she can drive.
The movie just didn't do a
She-
great job of communicating that. So I had notes of like, why are they in his truck now? Okay, whatever, sure. I thought maybe she was like putting her stuff in his truck for some reason. It wasn't until later that I learned, oh no, she's a trucker as well.
Yeah, it was sort of one of those. She was packing up her truck, and then she sort of wobbles and was like, "Do you think you could give me a ride?" As he's like mid swig.
Yeah.
Yeah, like sure, yeah, he's fine to drive. Don't drink and drive, kids. If you're gonna drink,
Or
don't
adults.
drive. Or adults, anybody, just don't do it. So
Or
she
pets.
needs a ride to Mobile, Alabama. One thing I saw at the end of the movie, and I will give them credit for this, it was set in Alabama. They shot it all in Alabama. Maybe there was some tax
Oh,
incentives.
everybody was wearing like Alabama shirts.
Oh, yeah.
Hats. His Turkey and the Wolf hat. I had to look it up. Apparently, it's a very famous restaurant in New Orleans that I had never heard of. But apparently, it was like
okay.
voted #1 restaurant in America or something. Like right before this movie was shot. So
Yeah, apparently they have a collard green sandwich that's like worth murdering over.
oh,
Huh.
Steve, I know you love you some collard greens.
yeah, same. I have to go check that out next time.
Huh. That's interesting because I saw Turkey and the Wolf, and it just reminded me of like morning zoo FM radio show. You know, it's
You listen to Turkey and the Wolf.
Turkey and the Wolf on 93.4.
Oh.
Yep, exactly. Now I want to make that. I might have to do something with that. So she needs a ride to Mobile, Alabama because her daughter was in an accident. That's all we know. And whatever, we still don't know. We haven't been told the story yet of why she was being strangled in a bathroom stall in a truck stop. But we get that in an exposition dump on our way to the hospital, which is a choice by her. And
She's really trusting all of a
she is
sudden.
very trusting. Yeah.
But then again, this is also a woman who walked up to a stranger and was like, "Excuse me, would you mind choking me in
You
a
seem
truck
to have
stop
strong
bathroom?"
hands. Just choke me out real quick.
Right.
Oh, don't worry, I can take it.
Which, okay, given Franca, I could believe that. But no, it's just, okay. So they get to the hospital, and that's when she sees her daughter, but then like the daughter's woken up, but then immediately goes back into her coma, I guess, from that morning, right? She was in a motorcycle accident. That's all we know.
Yeah.
So they're outside, and she asks Cage, now, I need you to do this in the stairwell of the hospital, because I'm sure that's going to go real well.
Yeah, nobody's ever hanging out in the stairwells of the hospital.
No, never.
No. If I've learned anything from movies, it's that hospital stairways and parking lots are completely empty at all times.
They only have people in them when the plot demands it.
Exactly.
So, yeah, they do that. She has her vision, which, okay, one of my problems with this movie was I could never figure out how far they wanted to go in the supernatural realm because they keep mentioning it, but then never show anything real. We spend 30 seconds there. And what the hell even happened is what I want to know.
So this is actually one of the reasons why I really like this movie, because I am a big fan of movies that are, is it supernatural or is it mental illness?
Yeah. Basically, when she's being choked out, she sees that she's like in the room as they're like trying to revive her or whatever,
She sees that her daughter is still in the room.
Yeah, her daughter is still in the room, but like away from the body.
She's actually next to the door.
Yeah, and
She's leaving this plane.
and then
Ask me what it means.
and then the Haitian nurse or whatever turns around and like sees the Franke Potente and is like, "The hell you doing here?" Like that kind of thing. But you know, nobody else does. But then that like snaps her out of it, I guess. I don't know.
Also,
So
where can I find a good Haitian nurse?
apparently in any movie, because that was such a tropey character that I actually had my note. I'm like, I wonder if we're even going to see this character again for the rest of the movie. Like, will they pop up in the third act to reveal something or
To
not?
explain everything. Yeah.
So I was like, I sort of knew what was happening, but the movie just doesn't spend any time with it. She goes into the room, she sees that, then she's out, and everything's fine. And now the daughter, Billy, wakes up. and she's very confused as to what's going on. She seems happy to see Joe for some reason.
Yeah, so the mom, just being choked out, she's like, "Yeah, let me catch my breath," or no, that's right. She needed to rest or whatever, and so
Yeah.
Joe's like, "Well, I can just let you know if when she wakes up or whatever." And so he goes in there, she wakes up, and like, "It's you," and he's like, yeah, it's me. Hi, I'm your mom's friend."
Right.
Like, and he's like, "I'm gonna go get your mom." He's like, "No, don't leave. I don't. I don't do well alone or whatever."
Oh, yeah.
I don't do well alone.
That was the recurring
first-
line.
Yeah. And Nic Cage is like, "Huh, it's kind of familiar." Anyway, gotta go.
Yep.
I'm still a little buzzed. Also, I got a little high from choking your mom out. Be right back.
Yeah. Also, Funka's only done this a few times and only ever once in a day, and now she's done it twice in a day.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason why she's exhausted.
That's fair. So then I love the I'm not going anywhere, because he goes out and finds her and it's like, hey, she's awake. They go into the room and there's this exchange of like, don't worry, I'm here. I'm not going to leave you. I'm not going to go anywhere. Smash cut to them pulling up to her house in Cage's big rig. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just going to leave her there. Fine, cool, whatever.
Yeah. It was like, oh, okay, she's in the big rig too. But then like they go in the house, walking around. I'm like, so where? Oh, she's still at the hospital.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nope, daughter's still at the
visiting
hospital.
hours are over, guys. They kick you out at a certain point.
So they had to go home so they could have sex, because that's what they're going to do. Very angry sex too, I might add.
I mean, yeah, passionate. Well, no, yeah, it's pretty. It's a picture raw dogging. That's
You know what?
That's
that is probably the most apt description of what happened there.
And the thing is, like, while he's doing it, he then like reaches up and like punches the lamp or whatever off the stand. I'm like, that was completely unnecessary, sir.
Don't worry.
And then the lamp's
Absolutely.
right there in the next scene.
Yeah.
The lamp.
Oh, don't get me started with continuity.
Still standing.
Yeah. The continuity.
It's like
I don't normally like to call out names. However, there is a credit in this movie for script supervisor. I don't know what that person did. Because
Here's
typically
the thing with the lamp. I think that was to show that they cleaned up after themselves.
Yeah.
Because also then he's wearing a shirt when he wasn't. Because we had to see all his fantastic tattoos.
Oh.
Well, yes, and hers. But the thing with my continuity issue is even before the lamp, when they, first of all, it's very awkward for them to get started. And that's just absolutely awkward. But then they're stripping their clothes off. He takes off her bra, but then the very next shot, she's wearing it again.
It's back
and
on.
then my note was like the amazing disappearing, reappearing bra.
Those locks are
No,
joke,
there's
man.
another scene where he's gonna be fucking and then immediately has his underwear on, and I'm like, well, they weren't fucking because he's got his underwear on. So
Exactly. I noticed that one too. But they basically go home, have sex, and then 3 days later.
Yep, 3 days later, I'm like, wow, that's quite a pound session.
Yeah.
I'm 3 days late with my load.
And that was the other part. Again, the worst trucker ever, because he just gave up on doing that. Like, at no point in the last 3 days could you have, I don't know, run off to wherever it was. He had to go Biloxi, I think it was.
Yeah.
He could have.
Which I assume is like a 2-hour drive away or something.
It can't be that far. He could have gone there and come back in 3 days. But it's 3 days later, and they're bringing home Billy. Billy's coming home from the hospital. And every turn in this movie was a left. And I just wasn't ever ready for what they were going to do. But at the same time, I could see all of it coming.
Hey, Travis, you want to know how far it is from Mobile to Biloxi?
How far?
An hour.
Oh, good.
It's an hour drive away. He could almost accidentally end up in Biloxi to drop his load and be back.
No, he could have made a wrong turn and still been back.
Off on the way home from the hospital.
Right.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So they bring Billy home, and the two of them are just being adorable together. Meanwhile, like, what is it? A couple of Billy's friends stop by that were out on the motorcycle with her, who the mom doesn't like.
Yeah, the boyfriend who's we'll find out is a dealer, and his friend.
Yeah. Now, okay. Nic Cage always making choices. Performance is uneven, but he's going for it. He's taking his swings. Franke is okay in this movie. I know she is capable of being much better. I feel like there wasn't a lot of direction given. However, I got to say, Garrett Clayton, who plays Mike, the boyfriend, don't know what he was doing. Like, the best way to act is to not get caught acting. He was very much caught acting.
Yeah, he was a lot of scenes he's in. He's like what is it, John C. or whatever in The Room, like the drug dealer from that movie.
Yes.
Which one?
Where's
Which
the
one?
money? What kind of drugs? Anyway.
Yeah, he was. That was rough. Like, because even the other friend Rick, who's supposed to be like just a big old stoner, he was silly and over the top, but like it was funny and kind of charming.
Yeah, I do like when the mom's like, she got in with the wrong crowd, a couple of dumbasses. Like, oh yeah, that's so sad. Stupid, she means us.
Right, exactly.
Oh.
I really enjoyed that scene.
That was good, and I might have that as a clip for a little bit later.
Oh, sorry.
No. But it was really good. But like, we spend a lot of this movie with Joe and Julie kind of flirting and playing around, and they're having very loud sex in the house with Billy there. But then we've also got a lot of the movie where Billy is both hitting on Joe and just being weird, and Julie's not really noticing it.
Yeah.
And when she does, she's just sort of brushing it off as like, well, she's recovering. And there is a supernatural aspect to it. It reminded me, the supernatural part reminded me a bit of, did you ever see the movie What Lies Beneath with Harrison Ford?
Yeah. Michelle Pfeiffer and Harrison Ford.
I got a lot of feeling of like, somebody saw What Lies Beneath and wanted to make that movie.
And wanted to make it with Nic Cage.
Yeah.
Full throttle.
So like there's that, but then there was also moments where I'm like, somebody saw, and I would think of like another movie. I'm like, I've seen this, because some of the supernatural elements reminded me of Stir of Echoes in some ways. And I'm like, I've seen everything this movie is doing, but done better. Which is a bummer, because again, I like kind of smaller movies getting to play around. They just kept missing the mark here. We spent way too much time with like the relationships, but nothing ever felt earned to me. And then the supernatural stuff, they didn't lean into enough, but it was clearly obvious that it was all supernatural.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah, I can
it,
see
or
that,
was
but-
it all mental illness?
I mean, until a certain point when all of a sudden Billy the daughter is like, quoting things and telling stories that Joe has never told anybody. I was like, how'd you know that name?
No. But here's the thing though. Like, it's all stuff that he tells Franke.
I mean,
Like when they're when they're getting stoned.
and she's like watching from the corner or whatever.
Yeah.
But then when it reaches the point where it's like last name Majors and
Yeah, there
the name
was a
of his
lot of
daughter
stuff.
and stuff like that. That's when it's like, oh my goodness, it's something supernatural where it's the wife is in her body. How? But MacGuffin, it
Like,
happened.
Everyone in this is an unreliable narrator.
Oh,
Yeah.
all of them are. And my problem is like lean into one or the other. Like either really toe the line of the ambiguity and play with the mental health / supernatural thing, which I do think can be really fun. Like, did you ever see The Exorcism of Emily Rose?
Yes.
Yes.
So like that is a movie that plays with that really well, where it is very clearly in that movie meant to be like, look, this actually happened to this person, the possession part of it. But they do such a good job of characters not buying that and all of this. And, there's movies that can do that, but this one just didn't land there, and it kept wanting to have the supernatural part of it, but then never giving us any of that. And then at the very end, there's this quick moment of like, what are you doing to me? and you get Julie saying, "You're where you belong." I felt like that scene, I missed 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, they cut it down for time or something.
Something.
Like, no one's going to care about this.
Yeah, and it's like, hold on, wait a minute. How did we get to this point? Like, we've never spent that much time in the quote unquote between worlds or spirit realm or whatever they want to call it. They just weren't, I don't know, interested in telling that story. And I kind of wish they had, because I think had they leaned into that more, I think you could have had some fun here. And I think that leaning into the Twin Peaks melodrama type stuff could have been a lot of fun, but they would do that and then back away from it. And they never fully committed one way or the other. It was like, it was too self-serious to be funny, but too silly to be serious. And I think that was my problem.
Yeah, and they were kind of trying to bridge it with Nicolas Cage, as Joe, just kind of being a creepy guy, but also supposedly a heart of gold for his dead wife and kid.
Yeah.
But then it's like, but then there's this teenage girl giving him a handy while they're watching TV.
Yeah.
While he's been banging the mom for the last couple of weeks or whatever, and it's just kind of like, I mean, not a great dude, but then,
no.
Oh no, I've really been your wife in this nubile teenage body the past couple of weeks, and he flips on a dime like, wait, what?
Exactly. Yes. But then he buys into it and he goes for it, and it's like, again, did I miss the scene where they had any kind of a conversation about it, or? And they wanted to have like some kind of a second chances and redemption, and him saying things like, I don't deserve anybody and all this, but I'm just like, wait, but we didn't do anything to get to this point. We're just, they're just lines in the script. Also, real quick though, I have to mention, Billy as a character is supposed to be a teenager, right? I'm guessing 18,
like 19,
19.
20, like that kind of thing. Yeah.
Penelope Mitchell, who played her, first of all, Australian, didn't know that. Actually cousins with Radha Mitchell. She was 27 making this. So it's the classic 30-year-old teenager.
I'm not gonna lie, I bought her as like a 19, 20, 21-year-old.
I kept thinking like, oh, she looks like she's like 24, 25. And if they'd made her that age, I think it would have worked. I do wonder if the character of Julie was written as being German, or if they altered the script to fit for Franke.
I think it was altered to fit for Franke. That's why they had to have the backstory of like, oh yeah, it's at a German base, I fell in love with a GI, and he brought me here to Mississippi.
Which, honestly, that I liked. I liked that aspect of it. Like, okay, you've cast this character. You're not going to try and make her fake an American accent and be really horrible at it. Just let her speak with the accent she normally does, and now we'll give a reason for that. Cool.
Yeah. And that is a totally like believable, realistic thing that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as somebody who, we live in a military town ourselves, there's a lot of people from other countries who just live here now because they came over with somebody and they're not with them anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, there's aspects of this movie I think that they nailed. I think that the idea of the character, I think there's some concepts in here that could have been really fun to explore, whether it be the second chance redemption thing, and then you've got the angry spirit, or you do the, is it real supernatural or is it mental illness? It just never felt like it picked a lane to go into, and it tried to do a little bit of everything. And by doing that, none of it worked. Even the whole like boyfriend that also happens to be a weed dealer and a stoner, and we're going to steal his money. I was like, wait, I forgot about these characters. Oh, okay, cool. I guess we're just going to go beat him with a baseball bat and take their money. And he shot that guy in the stomach, Rick, somehow, and he didn't bleed at all, which I thought was really interesting. Yeah.
Cauterize the wound on the way out. Yeah.
Guys, we are dismissing the best part of this movie.
Oh.
That is in one of the most uncomfortable scenes.
What's that, Izzy?
Do tell.
So, we have one of the very intense lovemaking scenes between Nic Cage and the between 19 and 21-year-old. she asks him to read from a book.
Okay. Yes. So
Did you catch what the book was, Travis?
I did, but before we get to what the book was, this is where I'm saying like it's definitely supernatural because he is remembering a moment with his wife who is inhabiting this body telling him read to me from the book again. So yes, I did notice immediately what the book was, and that made me laugh out loud because the book was called Memories by who is he?
Nicolas Cage.
And that did genuinely make me laugh out loud. And there was moments in this that had that silliness, and it reminded me of like Twin Peaks and sort of like we're just going to go like way over the top with stuff.
And I'm sorry, everyone. Nicolas Cage's Memories, erotic poems, is not currently available for publish.
I know Travis definitely searched it immediately.
Steve did.
Listen, I did. Okay, I was like, did he actually write a book called Memories? No, he didn't.
Full of erotic poetry, apparently.
Yes,
not yet. There's still time, Nick.
There is. Hey, I put nothing past him.
I hope you saved some of the excerpts for later.
It's just, it's such an unevenly toned movie that it kept giving me like whiplash, and I was trying to follow it, and then I eventually just sort of gave up. I was like, okay, I can't with this anymore, because then you get like this third act where Billy / Mary, because that was his wife's name, is just straight up like, okay, we're going to be together now. So we knock mom out. So they give Julia a concussion, and then they take off to go get money from Mike because she knows that Mike is a drug dealer. So clearly he's going to have money, which he did. He had like a big stack of cash hidden in the couch. But they just show up there, take the money, and head back to their old house that had burned down, because that's the backstory for Joe, is that his wife and daughter died in a fire while he was out truck driving, because he was gone all the time and his wife was sad and missed him. And so, as the story goes, she accidentally set the house on fire with a cigarette and killed herself and her their young daughter in the fire while he was gone.
Yeah. Also, that happened, 5 years earlier or something, I think he said earlier in the movie?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Because when they go back to that house, it looks really clean in some of the rooms. Like someone has been living there and cleaning up every couple of weeks.
I had notes of like, wow, for a burned out house, that's looking really nice.
Yeah, so some squatters really perked that thing up.
So here's the thing: it did look like an abandoned house, as somebody who's done some urban spelunking, but it looked like somebody had. It did not look like a burned out house, except for in one particular room.
Right.
It looked like maybe somebody had like moved in, renovated the place, then had abandoned it yet again.
Yeah, it was an abandoned house, but it had been abandoned for like 3 weeks, not 5 years.
I'll tell you why they abandoned it.
Ghosts.
Yep, the daughter ghost.
But all right, so also the scene though where they go and rob Mike. This is another one where I'm like, I think it might just be mental illness, because so a lot of the stuff about like the daughter and the fire and all of that, again, we've got a bunch of unreliable narrators. Like, he was there for 3 days that we don't really know about. How much is he just like babbling about his backstory while he's drunk or high or whatever? How would Nic Cage's wife Mary know that Mike had money stuffed in his couch?
Well, so my thought was that Mary knows that because Billy knows that, but the movie didn't want to tell us any of that.
But Mary went and visited them a couple of times when she's like, I just need to get out of the house or whatever. No, she said she had to get out of the house. Or was that just the first? Was that when they were robbing him? I forget.
That was just when they were robbing him, and that was the first thing she said there. But I think the idea was the movie doesn't do a good job of like explaining any of this. And I don't mind a movie with supernatural or paranormal things not giving us a full rundown of exactly how everything works.
Yeah, no, but you got to give us a little bit more than
I need something.
Than what they gave us.
I need something to tell me what's happening here. What the most we got was from the Haitian nurse of like, And I think all she says is, "You let someone back."
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
You
all we got.
started messing with stuff you shouldn't mess with.
Yeah. And
Which
it's
I
like,
wanted
okay.
more of the Haitian nurse. I want that spin-off movie.
Yeah, there is a interesting movie buried within this script somewhere.
Yeah. She's the Lin Shaye of the Insidious universe. Like she's just gonna be hopping around into the further with other stories, even though she's died like 4 times.
That's got to be really, really hard to like work in a place where people regularly die when you're like watching all the ghosts.
Yeah, I can't imagine being
that's
like.
Just got to be distracting.
Like I'm trying to think of like Doctor Sleep, right?
Oh yeah.
Would be the same kind of deal, but like it's just that was my big problem was there were so many kernels of like, oh, this could be really fun, or oh, this could be interesting, or oh, I've seen a movie that's done this and it's been compelling, and this one just doesn't go for any of those. Instead, we have a lot of sex scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you convince Nicolas Cage to be in your movie. You get to have passionate sex scenes with 3 different beautiful women.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. There was a lot of that. There was after they rob Mike and kill Rick, Mike shows up at Julie's house, gun drawn, and is like, what the hell is going on? And of course, at this point, we're an hour and 20 minutes into this hour and a half movie. We don't have time to explain everything. So it's just Julie being like, yeah, you're not going to believe any of this that happened, but this is what happened, which I thought was funny.
And then cut to the next scene.
And I really liked the, how are we going to find them? You're going to have to choke me.
Yeah. How hard did they hit you? Yeah.
Right, exactly. And then the movie doesn't even give us that scene. Right? We don't even get them finding.
I get it. Less banging, more choking. I feel like your browser history is revealing itself, Travis.
I am legally obligated to say, no, it's like, it's the things in the movie that would move the plot along we don't get. And instead we get like a weird montage of Nic Cage spraying down the young girl with a hose on her motorcycle that he's been fixing for her because reasons. And also a very compelling shot. We had Captain Buttcrack earlier, and then we get Nic Cage in his underwear.
With that banana hammock.
Which was another one that, I can't unsee that. So, that's where we are.
You're welcome.
So thank you for that. And by the end of the movie, they're back at they're at the house. They're slowly, Mary is like revealing more and more that she does not have good intentions for Joe.
She's like, so remember that whole day when the house burned down?
Oh,
I kind of did it on purpose.
Oh yeah, our daughter was dead before the fire started. I'm sorry. I really just thought you were going to be here and would come save us.
Yeah.
And that could have been like a really gut-wrenching, twisty reveal. And instead, I think my response to it was something along the lines of, ugh. Because it just felt like a wet fart at that point, and it bummed me out.
You could feel the end of the movie coming, and they're like, "Well, how are we going to wrap this up? I don't know. This way." We got 4 minutes. Come on, chop chop.
Exactly.
So again, it's like, could this be just mental illness? I think it could be, because it's like, does the scene even actually happen? Because we see that Joe is having a full-blown like psychotic episode at this point.
Oh yeah, Joe has gone bye-bye at that point. He is.
Yeah, so like, is this all just happening in Joe's head?
I think that you thought about that more than the writer, director, producer did. Quite honestly, but like again, it could have been really interesting, but it's a fine line to walk, right? Because at one point, or on one half, you have what this movie did, which is we get nothing. Like Julie and Mike show up. There's literally a struggle for the gun. The gun goes off, shooting Julie, which somehow also affects Mary / Billy. And they both...
because when she's dead, she's back in the further or whatever, the nether realm. And Mary's in there, and she's like, haha, you thought you could, now you can't switch the bodies back, or blah, blah, blah. She's like, au contraire, mon frere. I just need to keep you here. And then apparently that means Billy's already back in the body, and she's waking up like, hey, what happened? Last thing I remember was a motorcycle accident.
And
oh my God, why is my mom dead next to me? What the fuck did you do, Mike?
right, and all of this, so all of that happens, but we don't see any of it. All we see is the struggle, the gunshot, and then I've put you where you're supposed to be. But I was like, I actually backed it up. I'm like, was there a cut in here somewhere? Did I find like a bad file for this movie? Like, what happened here?
I almost thought like the mom jumped into Billy the first time I watched it or whatever. Because as far as we know, Billy's gone off to heaven or something,
right.
Or is haunting the hospital, bugging the Haitian nurse or something.
And I hate to compare this movie to Obsession. Did you see Obsession?
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I hate to compare this movie to Obsession because Obsession is phenomenal and Between Worlds is not. But
see, when I watched Obsession, I was like, this is just Between Worlds.
But the ending of this movie with Billy gave me a lot of, it reminded me of that where I was like, this is awful for this person.
Waking up in a living nightmare?
Yeah, woke up to just suddenly, like, she's in a motorcycle wreck and wakes up presumably weeks later. We don't know how much time happened during the montages. In a house she's never been in with her pseudo-boyfriend holding a gun, her mother dead, shot, and some dude in the other room lighting himself on fire.
Yeah, saying Sarah's name, whoever the hell that is.
Like, I'm sorry, there's no amount of therapy she will ever be able to do to clear any of this out, like, at all. She is just, it is the worst thing because she had no control over any of that. And that, again, like, this whole idea of the spirit moving in and out and the afterlife and all that could have been really interesting, compelling stuff to talk about in this movie. And instead it was, like, just kind of shoved aside to, again, have angry sex scenes of people when it's still in their underwear.
So in that way, the exact opposite of Obsession.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So it's just like, I don't know what was happening. But I did get some clips and I got some of these to play because again, Nic Cage giveth and he taketh away. And we're going to start with, I got some Franke. I'm going to save Nic Cage clips themselves. They're in their own folder. We're going to start with some Julie lines, some Franke Potente. I like her quite a bit. Some of these are a varying quality level, I would say. For instance, this one.
Wow, that's so nice.
You want to do another take? Let me do that one more time.
That's Mark Wahlberg in The Happening. What? No.
I was thinking that's werewolf bubbles.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
So interesting.
Oh,
very fascinating.
That is some werewolf action right there. I like this turn of phrase, but again, maybe one more take of it.
Let's just say that would not suck.
Would not suck.
Would not suck. When she's talking to her daughter in the hospital for the first time. And I think it's hard for me to say because it was difficult to follow who was in the body at what point. But I think this is actually Billy she's talking to, where she says,
That's Joe. He's my friend.
He's my friend. I've known him for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
I've known him for the length of time it took to...
He choked me out in the hallway. We're practically married.
Yeah, exactly. I also loved... this is always great to have in a conversation. This should be a big old red flag for anybody. And Joe should have just dropped her at the hospital and left and gone to Biloxi. Because when you hear...
I haven't even gotten to the crazy part.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to the crazy part. And at this point, it has been... I almost drowned when I was a child, and I was having somebody choke me in a bathroom stall of a truck stop so that I could help rescue my daughter from a coma in a hospital 100 miles away. Like, I would have just been like, you know what? have a great night. I got to take this load of something somewhere.
Well, here's the Greyhound station.
Yeah,
Best of
exactly.
luck.
Here's a Greyhound say, hey, look, I'm broke, but here's $5. Good luck. I also, I got this one from, I think this is her.
I've been okay. What about you?
That one I captured because that was the same day he left to go deal with his truck, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd been gone for like, I don't know, an hour. And she's like, oh, I've been okay, you know, for the 45 minutes you've been gone. How are you?
Well, let's see. If he was driving to Biloxi and it's an hour each way, plus let's say conservatively an hour in between, it's been almost the whole morning.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
That's true. The coffee's cold by now.
Yeah. Would you like a sandwich?
Exactly. This one I captured for two reasons. Number one, the scene in it was just, this again feels like during this day of filming, they were thinking, oh, we're going to make kind of a weird dark comedy, like surrealistic dark comedy movie. Because this is, I'll play the clip and then I'll explain what I mean.
Are you guys okay with okra?
Man, okra's real nice.
I hate okra.
Few things there. Number one, she has on a sheet tray just a skinned rabbit that she's just like flailing around like it's nothing.
All right, I was wondering. I asked Steve actually, like, is it a rabbit or is it a suckling pig?
You know, suckling pig could have been a squirrel for all I know, like a real big squirrel.
Some sort of small mammal.
Possum pie.
Possum. So that was already weird, and that gave me that feel of like, again, like, oh, we watched Twin Peaks and we think this would be kind of funny. And the casual okra conversation. Now, this is the scene you mentioned earlier where Billy or Mary, I don't know which one you want to call her at this point, is...
We'll just call her Barry.
Barry, there we
really
go.
Weird.
So
Yeah.
Barry is given a hand job to him under a blanket, but over his pants. Sure, why not? And he's just kind of...
And this is where I'm like, yeah, 16. No, I don't know.
He's rolling with it. Also, at points, Nic Cage was sort of, kind of trying to do a Southern accent, but he held it less than he did in Con Air.
Yeah.
So there was that. I will say, though, okra, go for it. I love okra. Okra's good stuff.
Yeah, when prepared right. Yeah.
Yes. I got this one just because it was a funny sound. This is when the two of them are smoking the weed, because she takes the weed from the boyfriend, and this was just a funny noise that she made. This is her. This is the character of Julie, high as a kite, trying to explain goo goo eyes. I don't know. It's just such a weird noise, and now I have it forever.
But she does the hand motions with
Yeah,
it
yeah.
too.
She does,
the hand
the
motions
like
sell it.
telescoping. Yeah, it was so good.
The Tex Avery eyes.
Yes. This was too funny not to get.
Put your fucking pants on! You gross!
Well, I don't know what makes you say that, but
And there again,
It's
like,
not in the script at all.
that's legitimately funny. Like, that moment is absurd and surreal, and I genuinely laughed at that. Because there's like the perfect amount of pause there, and the character of Joe responding with like, I don't know why you'd say that, as he's standing there in a t-shirt and his underwear after getting
Having
caught.
just banged her daughter and trying to explain to her, no, it's my wife and your daughter.
Right. Like, so much about it is completely ridiculous, and that I loved.
Look, is that the weirdest thing you've heard this week?
Exactly.
Soul Choker, or whatever your superhero name is.
Speaking of,
How do we find them?
You have to choke me.
Wouldn't just shooting you be easier?
so two things. One, I don't think he's wrong. Two, she hasn't at any point explained the choking thing, so she just led with that. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I think she forgets that, like, each new person she explains it to, she kind of has to give certain details, not just, look, I need you to choke me. Why?
Yes.
We don't have time.
yes. Oh,
There's no time.
It's just so silly.
The bomb's about to go off. Just do it. Like she has Nicolas Cage in Next Powers or something.
Yes.
It's like I don't have time to explain why my name's Frank Cadillac sometimes.
This was just I just wanted this for my soundboard.
No.
So got that now. That's a fun one to use. Okay. I kept waiting for the moment where Julie would walk in on them, right? Because the movie was setting it up. And it basically dragged that out for like 30 minutes of runtime of it's going to happen. It's just a question of when, not if. But she finally does run into him. And then she gets super upset with him over it. They're having their conversation. But then this exchange was weird to me.
You took advantage of me and of her. You fix this.
Why does... Why is he got to fix it?
I think he was confused too. Like, how?
Yes, exactly.
How does one fix this? I feel like there's a novella that would be like, how can I possibly somehow turn this a different way?
It's like okay, fix what and how, and you're the one with the supernatural power, I think. Okay.
And I believe his response is, "What, you want me to kill my wife?" And I'm like, valid point, sort of, in a way.
Valid point, but also like probably read the room, buddy. Maybe not the thing to say. I don't know. This is the Haitian nurse. This is when they walk out of the stairwell and back into the room. So this is right after basically our only actual like scene of the afterlife.
You did good. She's back where she belongs.
Did good? She didn't do anything. Like she got choked in the stairwell, walked into the room, looked at her daughter walking towards the door, saw the Haitian nurse, and then we cut away. I was like, did good what? What did she do? She didn't do anything.
I think the Haitian nurse is kind of saying like, look, all these blonde white girls look the same to me. One of them got in your daughter. I assume it's your daughter.
I wish they had had that line in there. That would have been perfect.
Some wannabe Heather Graham chick on your daughter. I figured it was her.
And then the only other real line that actress had in this movie.
But I found Billy. I brought her back.
You brought someone back.
That's it. And again, it's like an hour later. I was glad they at least brought her character back, but she should have been in like Act 2 and actually explained things. Again, but
also kind of glad she wasn't, Whoopi and Ghost. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
like the third character or fourth character or whatever.
Again, it's that line to walk, right? You want more than what they gave us here, but less than Whoopi and Ghost. The one that I always fall back to is, again, it's Stir of Echoes, because I love that movie. I really enjoyed Stir of Echoes. And there's the character in that. It's the tropey character, but he explains kind of the supernatural world to the mom. And I just liked him in that quite a bit. And he's only in it for a few minutes, but like, it's better.
You may have to come back for Stir of Echoes because I've never seen it. So.
I've done it on the show already, but you need to do it. You do it for your show. I'll come on and talk about it.
Sounds good.
This one, okay. Now I've got some with Billy / Mary. So Barry, and this was a great exchange. At this point, Julie should have known something was up.
Like you did with your husband.
My husband?
That was
your father, young lady.
Yeah, that was a great line. I didn't capture that part, but that one was pretty funny. They wore the hell out of this line. I feel like this was Maria Polera thought this one up and was like, "That is my line. I'm going to use that."
You're not good on your own.
You're not good on your own, or I'm not good on my own. Some variation of that. I want to say it's like 5 or 6 times it gets said in this movie.
Yeah. It was almost like, was that maybe like the working title of the movie or something? Not good on your own or something like that. Yeah.
Honestly, would have made as much sense as Between Worlds. for a title. If I'm
Yeah.
When they go to the house with the boyfriend, and she sits down, and they're like, "Ah, man, you're looking great," and I just loved
All the clean living and oxycodone.
that. If I didn't know that she was not American, I think that's the line that would have given it away. There's certain words that non-American accented people will say, typically Aussies or Kiwis, and it's like, oh, they're not actually American, but they do a really, like, she does an incredible American accent. I'm just going to say that. Like, it was really good. But the way she says oxycodone was like, it's like...
like it wasn't taught to her in school or something.
Yeah, the one that I always think of is Guy Pearce, because Guy Pearce is Australian, right? But he does a great American accent. But in the movie L.A. Confidential, in particular, there's a moment where he says the line is he had his throat slit.
Oh, yeah.
But the way he says it is he had his throat slit, and I was like, yep. That's not somebody born in America saying that, and it's the little things. It's the weird ear I have. So hearing like oxycodone, I was like, that was weird. But I did like the clean living.
Yeah.
Also Billy Mary.
Nobody's shooting that sad bastard but me.
That line was great because then Joe's reaction to it. Joe's like, I think he was mid-swig off of his flask and just kind of stops like, well, what? Hold on now. You said what now? Who's shooting me? We waited so long to get to that point, but it was like, yeah, no, Mary was 100% like, her whole thing was she was going to take Joe with her.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, that whole thing is just like, what is she, just like an agent of chaos or whatever? No, it's like, oh no, she's mad at Joe because he wasn't there all the time because she married a long haul trucker and had a child with him, and then it was like, well, what do you mean you're not just gonna chill here by my side and take care of this baby I didn't really want or whatever? I'm just like, okay, cool. I guess that's what we're going with. All right.
Yeah. Again, there's backstory we missed that would have helped with that. I also like this.
And I'm not ready to die. Not again. Not until you're ready to come with me.
There again, red flag. Not until you're ready to come with me. Like, I'm sorry, what? A couple of just minor characters. This was the dude taking Joe's truck. Because he shows up, he goes back to work, right? And he was 3 days late, so they basically don't pay him. They take all the late fees, so he gets $20. And then they're impounding
$18.46 is all I gotta pay you.
It's so good. But they're impounding his truck. They won't even let him get his personal effects out of the truck, which that felt like, no, they would let him do that. But I just like this guy saying
they'd more just toss it out the window at him or whatever.
Exactly.
And it like opens and stuff like goes down the gutter or something.
That's what would have happened. They would have just chucked it out of the truck. But I did like,
sorry, buddy.
He's again, he's trying. That actor was given some lines and he read those lines. The boyfriends or boyfriend and Stoner.
I mean, we kind of suck, but
yeah, you do. You do. This one we mentioned earlier, but this was too good not to get.
I know, right? Surprised she's not smeared all over the highway.
She fell in with the wrong crowd.
Bunch of assholes.
She means us, Rick.
Oh, really?
That guy. Oh, Rick is my favorite character in this movie, and he didn't deserve what happened to him.
Rick is Brad Pitt in True Romance. Like, he just shows up for like 2 scenes, kind of steals just being a little stoner guy, and then it's like, yeah, it's a shame. He's unfortunately, he doesn't make it through this movie like Brad does in True Romance. But
Rick is an idiot, but he was a lot of fun, and he didn't deserve to get shot in the stomach. Although that gun was not pointing in the right direction to shoot him in the stomach.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's the magic of the dance.
Yeah.
Supernatural powers.
There you go. And now the man we're here to talk about all month, Nic Cage. I got some Nic Cage clips. So here we go. First of all, like right in the beginning of the movie, one of his first lines.
Do you have kids?
Do I have kids?
Do I have kids? Followed by big long pull off of that. He got some mileage out of that flask. And then
do you have the next line?
This one?
Wife and daughter, you like?
Oh, beautiful.
Oops, they're dead.
Oh,
yep.
That is such a Nic Cage reading of that line. I loved it. I loved it so much.
So good. It's so classic.
Academy Award winner.
Academy Award winner Nicolas Cage giving us a
oops.
So that's going on my soundboard and staying there forever.
Ever.
I am going to use. I'm putting that. That might replace the red alert klaxon that I have on my Roadcaster. We'll see.
Nice.
Oops. Just
oops.
That's so good.
I want that to be my ringtone now.
Oh, perfect for like text tone.
Yeah, exactly. Oops. Oh, excuse me. Gotta get this.
Yeah. Hold on. I have to take this. We also had, let's see.
You go to hell. Sorry.
The things he says in this movie, and that's what he apologizes for, is saying in a slightly terse tone, you go to hell, to his boss, I guess, the guy that hired him.
Yeah.
That got me. Then when he comes back, he's fine again. Everything's hunky-dory because...
beautiful weed.
There's just a lot of... there's a lot of groaning and grunting in this movie. I probably could have captured just that and had a whole soundboard's worth of stuff. But we also got...
Google eyes.
the way he said that cracked me up.
Guys,
Also,
if these clips are convincing you to watch this movie, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, no, honestly. Thankfully, it's only an hour and a half long, so you don't have a big commitment to make. And if Google Eyes didn't
Unless
get
you're
you,
watching it on Plex, unfortunately, because it's like 45 minutes of commercials.
Fair. If Google Eyes doesn't get you, something like this might.
I'm gonna drain the main bank.
Listen, I know it's a turn of phrase. It's a turn of phrase I've used. But I've said it to myself, ironically, not to somebody that I've known for 3 hours or 3 days. I don't remember.
And when you say it to yourself, do you groan like that when you do it to like, during the main blade?
Yeah, I do actually. So, this is him in the convenience store.
Just ring it up, Ricardo.
So pretty sure that the dude working at that truck stop's name is like Richard. And I am a fan of dismissively calling somebody a longer version of their own name. Like Ricardo. That's funny.
Ring it up, Benethy.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Again, with the kind of all over the place aspects of stuff, these people have known each other for 3 days at this point, right? They've just brought her daughter home from the ICU. She's got all of the medications laid out. And this is Joe being a creeper because he says,
baby.
That really made me feel weird in ways that I don't like.
I think it was the music in the background too, kind of giving
Didn't help.
even somehow more creeper vibe.
Yes. And then he's like giving her the hug and he's saying,
hold daddy tight.
No, please, never.
Wait, was that also when he was like taking a hit off the bottle of codeine or something?
Took the hit off the bottle of...
Yeah. Something like that.
How she didn't notice that, I don't know, but whatever. But if I never have to hear Nic Cage say "Hold Daddy Tight" again, I will be fine.
So you're gonna meet him at a Comic-Con, a Dragon Con or something. He's like, "Oh, hold Daddy tight." And he's like, I'm sorry, I said on the podcast once I can't do that."
No, you know what? Now, if I ever meet him, I'm going to have him say that, and just it's just the weird thing that I got to do.
Hold Daddy tight.
There was also this fun little rhyming that he was doing.
You know, the more you rest, the more you'll heal. And the more you heal, the better you'll feel.
All right. Lennon and McCartney, he is not.
So let's have rest with every meal.
Yeah.
Let's have beans with every meal.
That was that was kind of legitimately funny where she does that. And it's like, oh, I thought we were doing a rhyming thing.
Yeah. I feel like so many parts of this is like, Nick, just ad lib, and these guys are professional actors. They'll do something.
Yeah. Yeah, I think 9 of 12 in the chat said every director just with Nic Cage just says, let him cook. Just let him let him do his thing. He's an Oscar winner. He's won an Academy Award. Get out of his way. So you can get wonderful lines like,
You have to make stupid mistakes when you're young, otherwise you won't regret anything when you're old.
Yeah, but do you want to regret things?
It's everything I learned from movies.
That's true.
I mean, it is Nic Cage talking too. Let's be real.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Call Me. I don't remember what this one was.
Don't call me that.
Oh.
Why? That's what I always call you.
Again, he's slow on the uptake, but he's slowly figuring out something ain't right with Billy.
How do you know that name? Why would you say that name?
But I do find it funny that Joe's solution to something is not right with this apparently 19-year-old girl is, but she must be my wife reincarnated in her body, so let's have sex.
Yeah, there's only one way to make sure, Travis.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
And to be fair, in the when he was banging Franke Potente earlier, and they're referencing The Exorcist.
All right, you make a valid point. You make a very valid point here. Because look, there are plenty of movies I might reference in the moment. The Exorcist ain't making that list at all.
Even if my name's Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. No, not at all. This has got to be an ad lib.
Mary's dead, so you have some respect for my wife, or I'll spank it into you.
I'm actually of two minds on that. It's either an ad lib or that line was in the script, and he's like, "All right, fine, I'll say it because it's in the script, but then I'm going to do like a take on my own." And they just decided to keep that one. I can't tell. I can't tell if it was an ad lib or if he just begrudgingly said that.
I'm going to read it like, even I'm surprised this is coming out of my mouth.
Yes.
She's the reason we're back together. You can't hurt her.
Again, he bought into this very quickly. But nothing to that point in the movie made me think like he should buy into it so quickly. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm talking about when I say like there's scenes missing, there's stuff missing from this story. Is we just sort of jump to a lot of conclusions.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things like, hey, I choked her out and her daughter came back, so that Kazam, she has a supernatural power of some sort, as opposed to just it could just be two things that happened.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. We had this was a exchange between Julie and Joe, and it's just using a phrase that I feel like, again, this was in the script, so they just went with it. But neither of them have ever actually said these words out loud before.
You're a strange bird. Where are you from?
Multiple places.
You're a strange bird. I feel like she's just never said that about anybody. And so it was hard for her to like get that one out. That's not the weirdest thing that was said though, because all right. She offers him a beer and it's, I'll have a beer. But that followed by,
I'm gonna drain the main vein.
right? So he's going to go do that. And that's when he's walking down the hallway and he looks in the room and he sees the, again, presumably teenage girl standing naked in front of a mirror and just stops to leer at her for a little bit and then go pee. And then comes back into the kitchen and gets offered the beer a second time. So she's already offered him the beer. And he said yes. And then he left and came back. And here's again where I'm like, what exactly was the script supervisor's job on this movie? Because normally they're continuity and like making sure we stick to what's written in the script. But instead we get this exchange. Now, this might lose me my PG-13 rating for this episode. But...
So, do you want a beer?
Does the Tin Man have a sheet metal cock?
Yep.
All right. What do we think? Written in the script or ad lib? Where do you fall on this?
This does feel like a very Nic Cage thing to say.
Yeah.
I agree.
I feel like, hey, Nick, you want to sign on for Spider Noir? Does the Tin Man have a sheet metal cock?
Exactly.
I mean, I presume that's a yes.
Right, exactly. That would be the follow-up. Is that yes?
Because Tin Man, I would assume would be tin, not sheet metal.
You would think.
You know.
Then I got a couple more here. There's this one.
What the hell does that have to do with getting strangled?
That's a valid question. It really is. And I'm glad that that's like the first question he asks her, because quite honestly, that would have been my question as well. I mentioned it earlier, but there is this whole kind of second chance redemption thing that they sort of touch on, but by touch on, I mean this line was written in the script.
I don't deserve anybody.
They really wanted to play with that, and I feel like they just didn't. Again, they didn't go down that road enough. Like, really commit to that. Commit to this guy and his guilt over what happened with his wife and him not feeling like he belongs anywhere or deserves anyone.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like when he's sober, that's what his mindset is, but that's also, he's constantly drinking.
Yes.
And so he just constantly forgets that, or forgets that because he acts completely different the rest of the time. Every once in a while it's like, oh, yeah, I don't deserve to be happy. Want another beer? Does the Tin Man have a sheet metal clock? Go.
Exactly.
What was I talking about? Hey, you ever seen The Exorcist?
You can't give me that line at the end of the movie when earlier in the movie he's like just, wiggling his hips and spraying water on people and having all sorts of fun. Like, it's so weirdly discordant. Last two. First of all, there's this. Again, probably going to go on my soundboard because it's weird Nic Cage noises.
It's like the Count's laugh.
Yeah, he was. I feel like that's what he was going for there. And then speaking of laughing, it's not me if I don't capture a laugh. And boy, oh boy, this is top 3 film laughs of all time, and definitely top 3 Nic Cage laughs, which is saying something, because if you've seen Vampires Kiss, there's some really good ones in there. But this. It just kept going. It just kept going.
That's my actual ringtone right there. That's what it's going to be. Like, shh.
I can send that to you, 100%. What I loved about it was, in the movie, you're watching it, and there's a shot, and then it's a cut to another take, and you can hear it in that clip where the laugh amps up to a 12. And it was a completely different take, and he looks completely different in it. It is so good. It's absolutely hilarious. And that is going on my laugh wall of fame for all time.
So do you guys think they were actually high in that scene? Was it cheaper just to get the actors super high?
I think so. Honestly,
And
yes.
It felt
and let them bounce off one another. That's
Yeah.
why they're like both kind of having their own separate conversations.
Yes.
But yeah.
You know what? Yes, go with that. I think that works so much better. I don't like this movie. It is not a good movie. I'm just going to say that. It's not a good movie. However, I have really enjoyed talking about this movie.
Yeah, that's at least there's that.
Yeah, like it is not the worst thing I've seen, but it is low on the list because it's like The Room in that it doesn't know what it wants to be, right? Like it wants to be this self-serious supernatural thriller, but it also wants to be a David Lynch takedown of self-serious supernatural thrillers. And it doesn't know how to have its feet in both pools. And that's a bummer because, again, I like Cage. I like Franke. There were moments. I think also what hurt it is the needle drops. The music.
Oh, dude. Yeah, the I Put a Spell on You by Marilyn Manson.
God, that was the top 5 worst needle drops I've heard in a movie, period, is Marilyn Manson cover of I Put a Spell on You in this. It was awful. The what was the one at the end?
The Leader of the Pack.
Leader of the Pack.
Was the leader of the pack.
That was bad. I liked it so much more than the Marilyn Manson I Put a Spell on You needle drop. Like,
here's the thing, it felt so out of place. It felt perfect for this movie because everything in this movie feels a little out of place.
yes, you're not wrong there. Like, it definitely, everything did. But, because, like, the background of the stoners was, Black Flag. Okay, that's fine. I can deal with that. And that was mixed in a way where it felt like, oh, they just had that on their stereo playing. They were listening to a Black Flag CD. But a couple of those other ones were just bad. And then whatever song played over the end credits to start was also really felt weirdly out of place. Actually, that reminded me of Gunslingers that we talked about.
Yeah. Shit, that's it. Yeah. It was very similar. Kind of like, wait, what? That's right. It was the guy from Filter or whatever that one. And it was like, yeah, this was very similar.
Yeah, and it's like, just because you can doesn't mean you should. It's a movie that had potential, and I think there's some cool ideas to it. And if you've got an hour and a half, watch this with some friends, have a few drinks, maybe have some mind-altering substances, and you can have fun with this movie because it's just dumber than a bag of hammers.
Yeah, don't go in thinking it's going to be like, Academy Award winner Nicolas Cage. No, it's going to be more the like, hey, somebody had an idea. Nic Cage came on board with his own spice that he brings to a role.
Mm-hmm.
And things happen, but don't look too deep into it. Like, just keep it at eye level.
Yeah,
just
if you go,
let it wash upon you.
Yeah, if you go into this movie expecting things like The Trust or what was another one that he did, the Humanity Bureau that we talked about before, or it's like that level of movie, right? Like, it's low budget. There's a couple of interesting ideas, but the execution of it is just not good. You'll be fine. Don't expect, something crazy like Mandy or something really compelling. This is The Trust, Pay the Ghost, Humanity Bureau, Jiu-Jitsu. It's that level Nicolas Cage movie. Like, it's schlock, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with having a schlocky movie. But expect that. I think.
See, I love that schlock. So it's like, as long as it's entertaining, which it kind of is, just with like, what is happening, like that kind of aspect to it.
There is some of that, yeah.
And coming out of the towards the end there of the 2010s, it's like, all right, Nic Cage is finally doing something that's at least entertaining. It's not The Runner or 211 or USS Indianapolis Men of Courage or like the long list of things that are just kind of meh.
Yeah. Yeah, this falls, I would say it falls between those and the bad movies he does, like Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. That's another one, just wildly entertaining, just with what are they doing? What is Werner Herzog doing with this thing?
right. And that's the thing, right? Like you pair Cage with a director, and I feel like the better the director, the better the Cage experience can be, right? You put him with Werner Herzog, it's just going to be weird, and that's fine. Like, I'm cool with that. You put him with Scorsese, you get Bringing Out the Dead. You put him with Oz Perkins, you get Long Legs, right? Whereas this felt like a director that wasn't able to rein him in, and I think had this movie with a more seasoned director could have been better, but at the same time, there is some entertainment value here. So
Yeah, imagine something like this with, like, I don't know, James Wan directing and producing or something like that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
again, part of the Insidious kind of universe, but yeah, just the like darker tones, but also like having a singular vision in mind.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which is why, this movie reminds me a lot of Gunslingers that we talked about. And if you want to hear that conversation, check out the Everything I Learned from Movies podcast when that drops, which should be soon, because
Yeah. Nic Cage, baby.
our conversation on Gunslingers was very similar, where like there are some cool concepts to that movie, but just the execution of it was lacking. And I think that's from, again, your director and writer, and the types of movies that they're making. But hey, you know what? Movie got made, people got paid, and I'm fine with that.
It's more movies than I've ever done.
It is. No, I can say all the bad things I want about this movie, but Maria Pallera has made more movies than I have. So there is that. Now, speaking of the Everything I Learned from Movies podcast, remind people about that, where they can find it, and what you've got going on for Nic Cage.
Oh, well, of course, Nic Cage. We've been doing it, I think, just about every year in the 10, 11 years we've been doing it.
Excellent.
I'd like to say we're starting to run out of Nicolas Cage movies. We're really not,
No.
though. There's plenty of those, again, the 211, the Runner, and stuff like that we haven't talked about. But we've talked about the big ones. We've talked about Vengeance, a Love Story. We've talked about, but we also talk about, oh my gosh, we have so many fun themes like April and Marky March and coming up November.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, it's Everything I Learned from Movies on all the major podcatchers, or hit us up directly on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Bluesky at EILF Movies. That's Everything I Learned from Movies. My wife Izzy here also makes some art. Is that correct?
Do I?
Occasionally.
Yes, you do. And you can find me everywhere at Untidy Venus. That's a goddess who's bad at housekeeping. I'm on all the social medias at Untidy Venus. You can also catch me selling my goods and wares up and down the Wasatch Front. You can also catch Steve selling my goods and wares up and down the Wasatch Front, because I currently have a sprained wrist.
That's right. Oh, and Travis, you might be interested in this. After Nic Cage, we're sliding into Super Sexy Spader September.
Ooh, very fun.
Yeah. So we got some James Spader movies coming.
I love the themed months. You do that. My friends Drew and Miles do that with their show, The More You Nerd. I only have really the 2 theme months out of the year, but it just, the format of this show, it's a little bit easier for me to kind of be very fluid, but have I like having the theme for months. I think that's a lot of fun. And everything I learned from
movies. It has amazing
movies,
variety too with your show. Yeah.
And one of the things I like to do with Cage-A-Palooza is to have a movie like this, and then like last episode was Adaptation, which is a phenomenal movie, right? And a very good Nic Cage performance in a very different movie. So that's part of the reason that I celebrate Cage every year, is that there's just this breadth of things that he has done, right? We make the joke Academy Award winner, but he's won an Academy Award, and Leaving Las Vegas was phenomenal. He deserved that award. I don't really ever want to watch the movie again, but that's a whole other story, because it's a rough one to watch. But like, he does that. He can be really good. I mentioned Mandy in this, and I love his performance in Mandy. That movie is a trip. It's amazing to think that in the same calendar year, this movie, Mandy, and A Color Out of Space all came out.
Yeah.
It's just nuts. And those are only 3 of like the
man puts in
12
work.
movies that he did in that stretch.
Look, I'm going to argue this movie is top tier of the Nicolas Cage like trash movies. And we all agree there's some just Nicolas Cage is not trash. He always gives 110% whether you want it or not, whether it's the direction they were going for or not. He will give you 110%.
Yes.
This movie is top tier of those trash movies.
I would agree
At
with
least
that.
for me.
I would agree with that. I like one of the ones that I had the least fun with, and it wasn't any reason other than I got bored, was like Willy's Wonderland. I think that Willy's Wonderland was great for about 45 minutes. The problem was that it went on for another 45 minutes. And I was like,
Yeah,
we're just,
but it was still better than Five Nights at Freddy's.
I mean, that's fair. But it's just like, you're right. I agree 100%. He's always giving his all. He doesn't phone it in. The choices don't always work, but he's making them and he's going for it. And I appreciate that about him, which is why I do this every year. And if you like this conversation, this show, and Cage-A-Palooza, I do it every week. And I have been doing it since March of 2019, 383 episodes and counting. And I do live on Twitch, twitch.tv/TVsTravis every Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time to check the live stream. And then it comes out as a podcast everywhere you get your podcasts on Wednesdays. Now, if you want it a few days earlier and you want it ad-free, you can do that by joining the Patreon, patreon.com/WYHS. Show will always be ad-free there. There is exclusive patron-only stuff there. In fact, this month's patron-only is going to be my take on Nicolas Cage in Spider Noir.
Yes.
Saying that right now. I'm going to watch Spider Noir, and I'm going to let you know what it is. So if you want to hear my thoughts on that, got to join the Patreon. It's patreon.com/WYHS. I'm also finalizing some merch for Cage-A-Palooza. I'm only 8 years into doing this, celebration of him and finally making merchandise for it. But that'll be, you can find that at tvstravis.com.
Hey, babe, we should make some merchandise.
Merch. I can make merch.
So tvstravis.com, you can find the link for merch there. You've got my logo on stuff. I'll have Cage-A-Palooza stuff and more as I decide to make it. So definitely check that all out. Steve, Izzy, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to chat with you and talk about this. And thank you for being
Thank you for having us.
back on Cage-A-Palooza once again.
Absolutely, and thank you for coming on to talk gunslingers.
Yes.
I believe I apologize profusely for that, but it made for a fun episode.
You did, and it did. So two things can be true at the same time. And we had a lot of fun with that. Check that out. Everything I learned from movies, when that drops, I will let everybody know about it as well. But next week, we continue Cage-A-Palooza 2026. I will have Tyra Burton back on the show. She's seen parts of, but never seen all of, National Treasure. And we're going to watch that.
Oh.
And I have a very fun story about my first viewing of that in the theater. So that's going to be fun to talk about. Tyra is a delight. And this is a super fun movie. So I cannot wait to talk about it. And that's what's going to be next week. And I also have Snake Eyes coming up, which is another wonderful Nic Cage movie as we get closer and closer to Dragon Con. And if you're going to be at Dragon Con, come hang out. The Hilton Galleria level. I will post the time and the date. I believe it is Friday early, and I will be talking about the movie Project Alf with the members of the Horse Girls podcast, along with several other panels. And keep an eye out on the socials at TV's Travis or /TV's Travis on all the social medias. And I will mention what panels I will be on at Dragon Con and where you can find me. So until next time, Steve, Izzy, thank you so much for being here. We will definitely do this again soon.
Thank you.
Excellent. But just remember, everybody, to enjoy your movies with or without Nic Cage. It doesn't really matter. But let's be excellent to each other. This has been Wait You Haven't Seen.
You guys got anything to eat?
Yeah, I think we have some leftover waffle fries and Miracle Whip and some fruit roll-ups. You can help yourself.
Boy, that sounds great.
Yeah.